Power can be taken, but not given. It is the process of taking which is empowerment in itself. This is Matt Pearce. Welcome back to the part two. We're going to discuss a few international stories that have been of interest. We've kind of chosen a few interesting stories we thought our listeners might be interested in, actually.
It's been a pretty busy week in the world scene,
Yeah, it has, actually. And there's a particular story we're going to start off with, actually, which I think our listeners will be interested in, to do with a video which was posted by a group, predominantly an internet-based group called WiKileaks, and it was a video of Iraq, basically, where it was video footage taken from an American military helicopter firing on totally innocent civilians, and I better just spell that for anyone who might be interested in any of our listeners who might be interested to check it out, because I know you can actually widely look at the video and decide for yourself actually exactly what you think of it. It's WiKileaks, WiKileaks, and I've got to admit I had vaguely heard of this internet-based group before, actually, because they'd cropped up. I think last year there was some there was some story to do with them that but basically this organisation acts as a whistleblower. What's the expression for that in Chinese? Whistleblowing.
I don't think there's a direct Chinese translation.
I mean, that's interesting that there's not actually, isn't there? Because there ought to be, because China needs a lot of more whistleblowing. But I mean, apparently, I was reading about this. I looked at their website. I looked at their website only last night, actually, and and apparently, I think there is some Chinese dissidents who are helping contribute, actually, to the articles to do with China, to do with it. But basically, it's governments in all countries around the world, people who work for the governments, they are leaking information, documents, or in this case it was a video, which normally the governments around the world just would not release. And obviously this particular video was pretty shocking. You've seen it as well, Simon, haven't you?
Of course, yes.
And basically there was a group of people, and two of them were journalists, weren't they, working for Reuters, and who were shot at and killed, and all seriously injured. The American military, there's no way they would have released that video, and thank God that there is an organisation like that doing what it's doing, I think. I mean, when you saw that video, and what did you make of it? When you first saw it, because it's been in the news, isn't it?
That's right.
In the past few days, basically. I mean, what do you make of that what they're doing and the situation to do with it, and what the U.S. military's position on it?
I think, first of all, it's very sad that for those who have the guns on their hand, whenever you make a shooting, you should check very carefully, or at least look very carefully, whether it's a gun or a camera, because according to the military, they mistaken the camera on the hand of the Reuters journalist as a weapon. So this is one thing. But secondly, when the driver, because there's a driver accompanying the Reuters photojournalist, when he was first shot by the soldiers, he was hiding behind a van, and immediately there are two people trying to rescue him, save him. But then immediately there's another round of shots. So I don't think they look carefully enough. Not only that, but later on when they saw babies, they say that they shouldn't have any babies in the in such a in this place. I mean, you wouldn't bring babies to the battlefield. So, and also for the soldiers, they do not send the babies the children to the nearby hospital, but they send them in a less well-off hospital a bit far away. The way they treat civilians really raise lots of questions, and it won't be surprising that lots of people are very upset about what they saw.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it raises a lot of serious questions about the rules of war, I think, and the code of conduct. Because I would say, even if, I mean, these people were total civilians, they were totally innocent people, but even if they were soldiers, and they're just standing there totally passively with their guns just standing there, and a helicopter comes along, you can't just shoot someone, can you, if you think about it? Because they're not actually doing anything, I think. To me, it would be a bit like a policeman just shooting someone. Let's say someone's standing in the street. Let's just say, even if it is a criminal, okay, he's got a gun, but he's going to put it down, or he's not going to use it. You can't just shoot someone in cold blood, can you? So, I mean, it made me extremely uncomfortable. I know, in terms of the rules of law, in terms of a war situation, if they were soldiers, then in terms of legally, then they could be shot. But going back to the fact that they were civilians, or just a group of people, the military need to do much greater checks, it seems to me, about who exactly these people are, because just because there's a group of people gathered together, you can't just assume they're doing whatever they're military, and they can be shot at.
How can you be so sure they're your enemies? And in the meantime, I mean, the question which is even more significant is the cover up. I mean, I mean, it was a few years ago already, and then no one knows about it, knows the details, and perhaps there would be internal investigation. But as long as the investigation is internal, I mean, who can hold those who fire the shot, hold them accountable? I mean, and then we're not so sure. And WiKileaks is performing a great function in this way, because you can have different people uploading leakage, private or confidential documents, like those from CIA or from the Defense Ministry, on the web, and then it would be up to the WiKileaks people to check the facts and see whether they could be whether we could trust those documents and then release them. And I think this is one